Hey guys, welcome back to Man Time. Today's episode we are digging back into the round baler. You never know how to make these videos. You know, you make them for the beginner or somebody who's already done it. Sometimes it helps me just to talk through what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and hopefully that is beneficial to other people too. Welcome to Man Time. Alright, so before we get this hay baler out in the field, it's got some electronics, and what I do is I run the power from this reverse light to my electronics, and I've got a sprayer and different things that I run. It's going to be good to have a fuse on here for whatever I'm running, so we're going to start there, making sure I've got plus to plus. Sure do. And I'm going to solder everything up rather than take the easy route and do some, kind of cheap connectors like the crimp style connectors. Alright, so we're going to have a fuse on here, and then we're going to go to our, it's like a connector. I got them off of Amazon, just a electrical connector. Alright, well, we are essentially starting over. I tried to make a bale. It didn't go so well. So, yeah, this spring here is supposed to be attached to something. Let me show you what happened. So when that gets up to the level that you have it set at inside with a little pin, that means the bale is a certain size, and it starts the auto wrap. So this being an auto wrap machine, it starts to make the bale here, and this indicates where the tubes are in tying the twine around the bale. Right? There's a electronic indicator up on the tractor that lets you know when that process is starting. Mine didn't work. So the mechanism here and all the stuff going on, basically it started wrapping, and I didn't know it, so I just kept driving down the field, kept feeding it with hay, and in the process there, the cable that indicates where the twine tubes are, it broke, and then also the twine tubes, it actually has a breakaway system, so it's kind of a fail-safe situation there where it just had a breakaway, and I reset that. But without this, I'm not going to be able to tell when it's wrapping and when it's not. And, live and learn, right? So anyways, it was beneficial because I found like 8 more zerks underneath there that I didn't know were needing to be greased. But I've got a replacement cable right here, and we'll get this thing hooked up, and then I'll show you all about those twine tubes underneath of there. Yeah, let's get started with this. Okay, so we'll continue adjusting this tie rod, and what we're doing is, what are we doing here? Should we be tightening it up? Let's see if we tighten it up. No, we need to be loosening. Okay. One thing I wish I would have known here before I started this was that you can actually, what am I trying to say here? Alright, one thing I wish I would have known before I started this was that you can, kick the PTO on and operate this auto wrap process with no hay or anything going. You just need to watch your twine. There's a manual lever over here that starts that auto wrap process. And basically there's a cam that is linked to the twine tubes through this tie rod arm, and or through this tie rod, and it'll go through that process on the cam, and you don't need to be going through the field doing it. So word to the wise there, start off just running it empty and then move up to running it with hay in it. So all right, here we go. There we go. Okay, so see there, now we aren't touching when it starts, and now we can tighten up our lock nuts. Alright, so looking in from the front here, what you're going to see is that this linkage here, right up here, that's the top of the twine tubes, and it's got that cable, indicator cable, and then here's our tie rod, and you can see there the way that mounts up in there, and then it comes back up over this way, and you can get in here and tighten up this lock nut with the through the side panel there. And there's the other end of that tie rod. Let's get it tightened up. Here's our auto wrap feature. And you can see there what's happening. I've got to find a good way to get this twine tightened up. I haven't really found a good way yet. Then it's going to get caught up right there in our knives. Alright, safety first here on the channel. Safety first. Okay, so now what we can see is our twine tubes have returned to their start position. I've got to figure out a way to get this twine to catch in this knife, like when I need to reset the twine. Maybe it's in the manual. If anybody's got any comments or suggestions on how to get this to seat in there, let me know. Is that supposed to run like that on the bottom? Oh, I guess it is. Okay. Alright, so anyways, well, that one's not. Interesting. Huh. Okay. So that should probably be filed down. Alright, anyways, let's look at the other side. Alright, so that whole operation that we were seeing there is a result of this this cam system here being tripped. And it's either tripped automatically, hence the auto wrap, right, by the placement of a couple things here, the rollers mainly, and then it signals down here through this aircraft cable, and based on where this pin's at in here, when that's going to trip. So we don't want to do it now, but and then the other way is to trip it manually right here through this lever in the front. But okay, it's almost all the way through its cycle here. You can see the cam right here, and this is the peak of the cam, and once it gets over that peak it resets, locks. There's a little bearing, greasable bearing right here, that rolls on that cam, or that cam rolls on. So let's get our wire reset, and then let's go try to make a bale with it, huh? All the way through there, but then it comes and goes this way on the outside of there. Okay, now we're back to this. Oh man, no wonder this guy's got 8 rolls of twine in here, just in case. Next. Alright, well, we should be good to go. Last thing we're going to do here is try to bale up some hay for the second time. Let's see if it goes any better. Alright, so here's the situation. The electronics are still not working, and just by dumb luck, I was able to see and watch when that new cable indicated that, boom, it was going to start the wrapping process. I stopped the tractor, and that was the only way that I would have known that it was starting that auto wrap process. So here's the bale, first bale. Well, second bale, but first bale that it's actually done correctly with the wrapping of the twine on there correct. That is a good looking hay bale right there. Wow. And then the machine kicks it enough distance there where you can actually put the hydraulics back down and put that clamshell back down. But yeah, other than the electronics, this is looking pretty good. Let's see if the twine is caught in the knife, just like it's supposed to be. I sharpened the knives up as well, but everything is looking pretty good here. But yeah, the one piece of electronics right here that's supposed to be working isn't. And it was working. I did some initial testing with it, and it seemed to be working okay. Alright, well, that's all looking pretty good. Still got a little work to do on the electronics for this thing, but that'll be another episode maybe where we dig into that little box and see what's going on. I know it's getting power. It may be in some of the switches, or it may be in the box itself, some of the relays or something. I don't know. We'll dig into it. But got my first real wrapped round bale, and I think I got the size about right. That looks pretty good. So, all right, that's going to do it for today on Man Time, guys. Get out there. Have you some man time, too.